Today we are going to start with lesson 7. Lesson 7 is basically covering all the concepts with respect to e-correspondence. Okay, so today we will see what is the importance of computer in correspondence. So we will understand the basics about computer. Followed by this, we will understand how email is being sent and what are the concepts in sending an email. And post this, we will see what are the benefits of intranet and internet. Okay, so we'll just start with the class. So we start with the introduction where we understand what are the concepts of internet today. Okay, so how internet evolved, what are the importance of it, how today the entire world depends on internet for communication. Like today we don't send, we did business correspondence. In business correspondence, we explained you the format of writing letters, like block format, semi-block format, and all these concepts. But today, these concepts are being imbibed in our emails, right? So we actually don't send letters or we don't go and post all our letters like what we used to do a couple of years back. Okay, so today the concept is being more precise. We just stick on to a concept where emails are being sent, and this email which is being sent only will be kept as a proof for us. Okay, as a proof document. So all these concepts have been developing so rapidly in our century that this has made way for a new platform. Okay, for us to entirely depend on systems or internet for communication, and this communication helps us to do a interaction throughout the world. Okay, not just restricted to a place where we are right now, but it allows us to interact with people around the world. Okay, so it's very very important today. So what happens with the concept of internet, like how did it evolve and what all happened today in the 21st century globalized world? The users and need for 24 hours availability of systems of internet have been unprecedented. So today we have a internet facility which is available 24 hours, and this internet is providing us a global platform wherein we can interact with anybody around the world. From the trivia to the highly complex, we look for the answers to the most of our questions in a vast ocean of knowledge called as World Wide Web. Okay, so how does this internet work? The internet works with the help of something called as World Wide Web, okay, which we call it as WWW. Okay, the World Wide Web is a system of interlinked hypertext documents accessed via the internet. With a web browser, one can view web pages that contain texts, images, videos, and other multimedia and navigate among them via hypernet. So, what happens here? The basic concept what you have to understand is first we have something called as World Wide Web. A World Wide Web is accessed through web browsers. Web browsers work with the help of internet. Okay, so first thing is we have World Wide Web, which is multiple webs. Okay, where let's say we are working from a particular place. Okay, so in this place, let's say I'm working from Maharashtra. Okay, so if I'm working from Mumbai, I develop one particular web. This web can give information pertaining to the way you can prepare for your CS exam. Okay, so now let's say people around the world want to know how people are registering for CS exam or what is happening with CS exam. So ICSI.edu is not accessible only in India. So what we are doing, first initially we are creating a web page. The web page is being created. Once it's being created, the web page is linked with the World Wide Web. Okay, there are lots of webs like this where it is being connected with one another. So once it's being connected, what happens? I'm going to give you one web link. Okay, so the web link can be given either as hyperlinks. You will all know if I just click on the hyperlink, I will just get connected to that particular website. The same way, I can give it as a hyperlink or I can give it as a web address. Okay, so when I go and give this particular web address in my web browser, so what is my browser? Google Chrome, Firefox, okay, Internet Explorer. So all these things are called as my web browser. So when I put this information in my web browser, I can access this particular information. Like I can search for this information. To search for this information, what do I require? I require internet connection. Okay, so these are the three concepts which comes into picture with the usage of internet, that is usage of systems for communication. Okay, so first one will be World Wide Web. These webs will be created individually and then they will be linked with one another. These webs can be accessed with the help of web browsers. Web browsers will function only when it is backed up with internet connection. Okay, the here the concept what we have to understand is the internet and the web are two separate but related entities. So web is a separate entity and internet is a separate entity. Web is not interlinked with internet, but web is information being created. This information being created can be accessed with the help of internet. Okay, so we have to understand web is different, internet is different, but yet they both are interconnected because we can't access one another without the help of one item. Okay, so both are coincided and both are essential for us to ensure that proper activity is happening in the organization or whichever service we take with the help of internet. Okay, so here we go in detail to understand what is web. Okay, the World Wide Web or simply web is a way of accessing information over the medium of internet. So World Wide Web is a concept which is available globally. So each country, each city, each village, okay, if they want to develop certain information, they can go ahead and develop this information. Okay, so once they start developing this information, it will be easier for them to connect this information with the World Wide Web. Okay, so initially, whoever wants to create data or create a website, what we basically do, we create our web page. Okay, or we create our web content. So once our web page is being created, this particular information is being interlinked with our World Wide Web with the help of internet. The web uses the HTTP protocol, one of the languages spoken over the internet to transmit data. So HTTP, if you see how internet address will be given, it will be given as HTTP forward slash a semicolon www.icsi.edu.in. Okay, so this will be our website address. So whichever website address is there, if I want to connect my web to World Wide Web, we will use a basic address which begins with something called as HTTP. So it is called as HTTP protocol, which is used in our used worldwide as an internet language. Okay, so after this, the web also uses browsers such as Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, or Firefox to access web documents and web pages that are linked to one another via hyperlink. Web documents also contain graphic, sound, text, and videos. Okay, so all these things will come into picture when we are doing something called as when we are using a web. Okay, so web will use the next concept, which is web browser. So the internet, not the web, is also used for mails. So it's not just internet that is being useful for sending emails. The web connection is also mandatory to ensure how web is being used. Okay, so all these concepts becomes important for us to ensure how emails are being sent. It is not only with the help of internet, it is also with the help of web. Okay, that is your websites. Now we get with the next concept. What is browser? See, if people are not able to hear us, kindly log out and log in. You will be able to hear us. Okay, audio, visuals, everything will be visible. Then what is browser? The next concept that we enter into is a browser. So I have explained you already the different types of browsers are Google Chrome, Google, you have Internet Explorer, Firefox. Okay, so all these are the various things which are available for us for browsing the information what is available in the website. Okay, a web browser is a software application that enables you to find, retrieve, display information available on the World Wide Web. So I've told you already the World Wide Web will be the large data available. Okay, to search information in this, we are using something called as browser. In this browser, we can find data, we can retrieve data, we can display the information, we can copy paste the information, we can keep the information for any further references. We can also save the address, web address, okay, and keep it as a future reference, or we can use hyperlinks. So all these things can be used with the help of a browser. The information on the web is organized and formed using tags of markup language called as hyper markup languages or HTML. So what happens here? Here the information what is being kept across, it will all be preserved in the form of HTML language. So HTML is one particular language where whichever website we create, everything will be compressed and processed, and it will be converted into this particular language. So if we know how computers work with the help of binary language. The similar way, when websites are being created, HTML will be used and all the information will be transferred here. Okay, so once the website is being converted into HTML language, it will be processed and updated in the website. That is www. So what are the different types of browsers available? Again, it's Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox, Safari, and Opera. Okay, so what are the important buttons that is available in a browser? That is, the description about some of the interactions or buttons is as follows. The first one will be back and forward buttons. So if you have opened a Internet Explorer, you will know there are certain keys which are available. Okay, so you will have a key which goes back and forward. So if I go back, it goes to my previous web page. If I go forward, it goes to my next web page. So this is one button which is available in my browser. Okay, so the next key that is available is tab. So here you have multiple tabs. If I want to open a single page, I can use it. But if I want to open another page, previously what used to happen was I had to open a separate Google page again. Okay, a browser again. But today we need not open a separate Google page. With Chrome and all these things, how it works is you have certain small tabs. Okay, below the address line, below there will be something called as a tab. In this tab, particular page can be opened, so it can be accessed easily. So if you see business communication is one page, if I open any other document, it will come as a small tab here. Okay, so these tabs can be used parallelly for us to access. Then you have address bar. So what happens in address bar, you will generally be given an URL link. Okay, so this URL link will be used by us to access the information. So this address hypertext or address website address or URLs, whatever is being given, if we go and enter that particular information, it will take us to that particular website. Okay, for that address bar will be given. After this, we also have a concept called as recent history. So what happens in recent history, whatever data we have served, okay, and if we want to access that particular data, might be we have forgotten the address, or we don't know where we found that information, but that information was valuable for us. Again, if you want to access that particular information, then we can go ahead and search with something called as recent history. Then you have a refresh. If the page is not loading, or if you want the page to be reloaded because the images, content, figures are not loading properly because of your internet connection, or you have a poor connection, then we can go ahead and use something called as refresh button. Then you have stop. Stop is something where your internet page is still loading and it is taking a lot of time. When the loading is still happening and you don't want the entire document to be loaded, or if you feel this is unwanted, then you can stop that or cancel this, like where you have like this. Okay, this X button, you can just cancel it. Then you have homepage. Homepage will be this button will bring you back to the home page, that is Google Home or whatever it is. Then you have search box. So I'll just open up this particular Google page so it'll be easier for you to understand. So here, if you see, this is the home page. This is the search button. So if I give it as ICSI edu, it will take me to this particular button. So this is forward button, this is backward button, this is refresh button, this is my particular Google page, okay, address what I have given. So here what I can do, I can open this separately, I can open this separately. So when I do all these things, the small tabs which open here at the top of this will be called as my tabs. Okay, so these are called as tabs. So this will be available again. So all these concepts are available in our website. Okay, so just a Google page. Then after this, the next concept that we are going to move is internet. Okay, so what happens with internet? Um, the internet is the network of networks and is used for application. Internet allows you to share resources and applications with ease. The internet can carry any digital signals such as text, graphs, sounds, videos, and animation. So what happens in internet is a connection. Okay, this connection helps us to connect various networks. So you can be using certain particular internet provider like Airtel, BSNL, or whoever it is. So internet depends on the network connectivity. So if you have a good network available in your region, then you can access the web pages. Otherwise, you'll have to check how your internet connection is. So internet becomes very important for us to ensure the data is being accessible in the place where we are residing or working. Can internet process only word data? No, it can process any digital signals which can be in the form of word, document, videos, audios, graphs, signals, whatever it is. Okay, as long as it is in the digital signal platform, all the information can be accessed through internet. Then the internet is a massive network of networks, a networking infrastructure. It connects millions of computers together globally, forming a network in which any computer can communicate with any other computer as long as they both are connected to the internet. Information that travels over the internet does so via a variety of languages known as protocols. The internet uses TCP and IP as its basic protocol on which many more application levels protocols have been developed. So what happens? One system can talk with another system, okay, as long as you are connected through the internet. So how will we know which system is talking to another system? This is with the help of IP address. So Internet Protocol or Transmission Control Protocol, TCP. Okay, you'll get all these full forms in Google if you go and search that. So these particular IDs, okay, IP address or all these addresses will be used for identifying which system was the sender, which system was the receiver. Okay, so systems can talk with one another when they are connected with the help of Internet Protocol. Okay, so Internet is something which is very important, which helps two systems to communicate with one another. That is, if I want to send, let's say we are doing a online presentation now. So my system can provide this information to your system or your mobile phone, provided you are connected via internet. Okay, so my system is able to talk to your mobile or a system with the help of IP address being connected from my system to yours. Okay, so then after this, viewing a browser page on the World Wide Web normally begins either by typing the URL of the page into a web browser or by following a hyperlink that page or resource. So if you see, if for opening the ICSI website now, I went to the home page, I gave the address icsi.edu. If I have an address, I can give an address. Otherwise, if you are provided a hyperlink, like how you are allowed to join this particular class, like that, you can just click on the hyperlink and it will go connect with that particular page. Okay, so both is available. So by this we are covering three topics, that is what is web, followed by what is web browser, then after that we understood what is internet. Okay, so the next concept what we are going to understand is e-correspondence. So what happens with e-correspondence? The letters written by one party to another and the answers thereto make what is called the correspondence of the parties. Such correspondence, if done through electronic signals via internet, then it is called as e-correspondence. So basically, what is e-correspondence? Me trying to send certain information. That is what is correspondence we have covered in the previous class. Memos, office orders. Okay, so when I want to send any of these correspondence via an electronic mail, then it will be called as electronic correspondence. Okay, so what is electronic correspondence? Electronic correspondence is commonly known as email correspondence or electronic correspondence. It is an electronic method of providing you with important information on your email address. So for communicating anything through electronic platform, you should have email address. So the sender also should have an email address. The receiver should also have an email address. Only when we have a proper email address, then information can be sent from one system to another system. Okay. For this, valid email address is completely necessary in order to receive information via email. So we'll understand what is the concept of email and how this developed over the years. Electronic mail or email, as it is commonly called, is the process of sending or receiving computer files or messages by computer modem over telephone wires to a pre-selected mailbox or address on another computer. Okay, see, they won't ask you all these things in your objective questions. This is all for your general knowledge, where you have to understand how a system works. Okay, so how does email work here? So when email has to be sent from one system to another system, both the systems has to be connected through a modem. So modem, we all know, that is the internet connection through which we will get internet signals. So I have to connect my system to a modem or Wi-Fi. Okay, so once my system is being connected, it is being connected through a modem which will use a telephone line to transmit my data. From where to where it's going to transmit? When my system is connected, it will give one email ID and it will select as send the email. Once the email is being sent, this particular modem or Wi-Fi connects with the telephone line and sends this particular mail to another system which is connected with this particular email address. Okay, so this is how a particular system will talk with another system using this email address, okay, for sending personal or group mails. Then mailing list is also possible. So if I want to send it to a large group of people, then emails can also be sent to it. Like, let's say if I want to send a mail to 100 people, then we have a concept called as in MS Office that mail merge. Okay, where these documents can be individually written to particular people, and then we can send across these documents. So mailing list options are also available today. Might be in Google, it will be relatively like Gmail or Yahoo, it will be relatively difficult. But when we have something called as Messenger or Outlook as our website provider, it will be easier for us to access all these things. Then what are the information that can be sent through an email? We can send across business presentations, engineering blueprints, book chapters, or detailed contracts, graphs, files of artwork or photography. So whatever is there, all this information can be sent along with the text message, whatever is required. Okay, so today, email stands as a central component of business communication, both within business enterprise and between business enterprises. So here, what is happening? Email is important even for my internal communication as well as my external communication. So they are saying email is not only required for me to communicate with external world. No, within the internal world, internal parts of the organization or different departments or different levels, when we want to communicate, even there emails are being utilized. Okay, so regular mail in terms of efficiency, speed, and 24 hours of availability. So what is happening? Why we are using email today so prominently or as a very vital source? Because today emails are working as an efficient way with the speed and 24-hour availability for transmitting information. Okay, I need not wait for anybody to be there in their particular available in their particular email address or whatever it is. Okay, today all my emails are being connected to my mobile, so it becomes easier for me to understand how information can be sent across in a proper way. Fine. Then it is important for small business owners to know how to use this technology efficiently. So it is not only for high level business or business which has number of like large number of people. It is important even for small business owners today to understand how business plays a very important role. Okay, emails become important for even a small business player where they can efficiently organize and send across this information. Okay, then after this, electronic mail, also known commonly by its abbreviation, which is email. So electronic mail is sending the regular mail or a letter through an electronic platform. Then we call it as electronic mail, and the short form of that is only email. Okay, email can come. Email, they have just given it as email slowly came into work, like it started functioning. Once it started functioning, people understood the ease of it, how comfortable it is to communicate with one another, how easy it is to work. All these information, once we understood, after people found it very, very easier to transmit information from one country to another, and we did not depend on register post or speed post and all these concepts. It became easier for people to work in multiple time zones. Hence, email came, it saw and conquered the World Wide Web. Okay, that's what they have given. So why email became so important? Because necessity is the mother of all inventions. It was so necessary that we had to communicate with one another globally. Hence, it was a necessity, and slowly it became an essential item today. And today, without emails or electronic mail communications, running a business in large scale is really tough. Okay, so we will understand how email came into picture, like what is the history of email. Okay, certain people are asking us to go slow. We can't do it so slowly because we have a certain particular time limit which we have to complete the syllabus. So since these are free sessions and we are doing it as a help to assist you people, we are trying to cover all the contents. Okay, kindly understand that if you really want to go in detail and understand all these concepts, each chapter will do CSEET online courses or regular courses. There you can go and get benefited. Okay, like if you want more data, here we are trying to assist you so that you don't have to be completely vague. So if you have any doubts, kindly ask us at the end. We will be happy to assist you. That's how we are going with this. Please do respect us because we have certain timelines. We can't drag beyond that timeline. I have to complete and the next chapter has to start. Okay, for that perspective. So we have to complete it fast. Then what happens with history of email? How did it come into picture? Here, emails basically started in the year 1965. Okay, so what happens in 1965? The MIT in USA started with the concept of emails. Okay, what they did was the first to demonstrate the use of first email system known as mailbox. So in 1965 was the first time when a mailbox was being started. Okay, so here they developed something called as mailbox, but they didn't know how to function this. Then they understood we require a particular address. Okay, we'll call this as email address, and with this email address we will try to communicate from one system to another. Here Mr. Tomlinson came up with an idea saying that we will start developing email address having a symbol at, okay, to provide an addressing standard, where he came up and developed the concept of user at host. Okay, so here user at host is something where user will be the person whoever is using, at will be a address creator which will give us the host. Host can be Gmail, Rediff, Yahoo. Okay, so anybody can be a host. So whichever platform we take it up, either it's a free platform or it's a paid platform. Paid platforms will be like Outlook, okay, Messenger. So all these things will be paid platforms which will be taken by the companies. Okay, so they can use any of these things. So he was the person who developed a concept of user at host. So hence he is being called as father of email. Okay, because he gave us a language in which two systems can communicate through a particular individual address. We need not send it to a group like one company sending it to another company and everybody in the company can access. No, it does not happen like that. Any particular individual in one company can send it to any particular individual in another company and they can access this information. Okay, by then what happened once this email address was being developed? This was practically put in use in 1974. Okay, email in its improved form was being used by the US military. Then by 1975, efforts to organize the email bore fruit. Bore fruit. So by 1974, it was officially used by US military, and 75, the practical implementation became possible. Okay, a general operating area was being developed, and hence it became easier for implementing emails. So here what all they developed a concept of access controlling. So who can access the information, whether everybody can access, like as I told you, one company A is sending the information to company B. Can everybody in company A access the information? Everybody in company B can access the information, or it is a particular group of people. Okay, we understood all these concepts. After this, what happened? We understood, they came up with the importance of secret password. So then they understood, okay, if a particular person has to read this information, then we should have a secret password. The password will be created by the sender. It will be sent across to the receiver. The receiver will give the same particular secret password and then they can access. Or he can have a particular secret password to access that email ID. Then the sender will have a particular secret password to log on to his particular email ID. With this, they came up with the second concept, that is secret password. Then they also developed the third concept, that is separate folders. So what happened? They understood incoming mails should be in a separate folder called as inbox. Outgoing mails should be in a separate folder called as sent mails. Okay. So here they developed two separate folders as inbox and outbox. Okay. So these three concepts were developed when it was primarily being implemented in the US military. Then after this, in the year 1976, was a watershed year in the history of email marketing. Email services email services was being offered in commercial packages and per minute charges were applicable. So if you know the previous way how it was working, initially when telephone was being introduced or mobile was being introduced before we had pages. So after pages, when mobile was being introduced, what happened? Mobiles had a per minute charge. Okay, even per second they used to charge. So each minute used to be 2 rupees or 3 rupees. Okay, so like this, even for internet, it was the same. So they used to charge as KB, each MB. So MB was the biggest thing. We didn't have anything as GB then. Okay, so all these small things started working, and we started offering, like commercially it started to function, where commercial packages were okay, there was something wrong, I feel. Okay, so uh, commercial packages were being developed and this was being utilized in the utilized in large scale. Okay, so I think now it is audible to everyone. I think now it's audible. Okay, so you can just log out and log in again. There was some disturbance. Now it's working. Fine. And 1976 onwards, we started developing commercial packages, and we started marketing these packages. Okay. So here, even though per minute charges were being applicable, we also started they also introduced a certain concept where offline reading was available. So even if a particular user is not logged into the particular system, he has downloaded the information once, then that information can be accessed even when he was not online. Okay, so this particular application, development happened by 1976. Then by 1972. So by 1972, if people are not able to hear us, kindly log out and log in. It is functioning properly now. You can hear. Okay. So by 1972, what happened? The file protocol, transfer protocol was put in use to send email messages. So they developed a new protocol where we had internet protocol, transmission control protocol. The similar way, they came up with file transfer protocol. Okay, here what happened? File transfer protocol created a separate mail for every recipient and dispatched it, which resulted in loss of precious memory space. So only by developing a file type protocol, file transfer protocol, it became easier for us to send email to a particular email address, okay, like individual recipient, and we need not send it to bulk people. So using of data for sending it to large number of people was being reduced. So the cost internally was being reduced, okay, which resulted in less usage of memory space, because today we have hard disk and all these compact ways of saving memory, but those days it was not so. Okay, we all remember studying it in history of computers, how data was being stored, like how big spaces they required in order to save this data. So this could have been reduced with the help of FTP. Then they came up with the next concept in 1980s, that is SMTP, that is Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. Okay, here the standard procedure which was being used in sending emails became easier, and we could send the emails to multiple email addresses. But SMTP failed to control the category of forgery, cases of forgery, and proved to be naive protocol in the verification of authenticity of the user. This also made way for email viruses, worms, and spammers began exploiting. So SMTP was initially being introduced in 1980s, but it didn't give us security. Okay, the information was being forged, and it became easier for overgoing the authenticity of the user, so anybody could hack the system. Hence this also made way for virus and all these concepts. Hence this was a failure. It didn't turn out to be as a proper method. Since SMTP didn't work in using the sending the messages, the next concept which they developed in that place was POP. POP was Post Office Protocol as a standard for receiving emails. So the next concept which came in was POP, where emails could be received. Client to retrieve messages from the mail server using a connection. So whatever information is there, like how we have in Gmail today, if you want to access the mail, you have to be on internet connection, and then the information is being saved on the server. Okay, if you're offline, you can't open the mails most of the time, or you can't refresh the mails. If you want to refresh and go back and see who has sent this mail, what is the content, if you want to download the attachments, it is important for us to be on an internet connection, and the information will be will be preserved on a or saved on a particular server. Okay, the servers will become important, and the concept of server was being supported here. Does not support offline retrieval of the messages. So if you are, even today, if you are offline, you can't retrieve the messages. You can just open and see what is there, but you can't download the attachments and all these things. Okay, even if you have a downloaded attachment, you have to go to your memory and see, or download files and see where this particular downloaded document is, but you can't download when you are offline. Then the next concept came was Internet Message Access Protocol, that is IMPA, where messages are received when the receiver is not signed in. So today we also have a platform where even if you are not signed in to your email address and like you are not logged in and all, a small pop-up will come in the corner of your system or in your mobile where it will say a particular message is being received. Okay, so by this you are being alerted by saying a particular message is being delivered to you. Okay, then what happened? Early 1990s, free and user-friendly email service providers had taken up the industry. So by 1990s, the entire concept of email started to develop. Here, the initial service providers were only Yahoo and Hotmail. Okay, so this was an era where they called it as dot-com boom, where dot-com was being developed and the major players who provided email addresses were only Yahoo and Hotmail. Okay, today we closely have 600 million email users across the globe, with new players like Google, who's providing Gmail, and Rediff entering into the platform. So today the free email address can be created with the help of host service, that is Yahoo, Hotmail, Gmail, Rediff, and all these people. Okay, so all these are our email providers, which is being developed. If you want a particular email for our particular company or college or whatever it is, then we have to buy a particular server, and from there we can use this addresses. Okay, like we have at you can send it as admin at icsi.edu, or education administrator at icsi.edu. So when I want to create a website called as icsi.edu, then I have to take it as a paid website. Okay. So the next concept we are going to understand, what are the features of email, that is electronic correspondence. What are the features? The first one is it is electronic. Yes, because it is using a electronic platform to transmit this information in the form of codes. Hence, a electronic platform is being used. The platform that is being used to transmit the information is using HTML, that is hypertext markup language. In this, all your text data will be converted into codes and passed on through our internet or network lines, and it will be received by another system. This particular system which receives it will decode it and present it to you in the form of word, text, graph, whatever it is. Okay, so computer codes are being used behind the information what is being sent. The next one is it is cost effective. Yes, today sending mails is relatively cost effective. Imagine if we have to send emails or letters. Okay, if we have to send letters and we have global operations, that is multinational companies, MNCs, and we want to send this information from India to Singapore, or India to America, or India to UK, India to Australia, the time involved in that and the cost had to be really high. Like we had to go send a post or a courier. This information had to travel. The time involved will be different. Okay, but in case of using a email today, it has become relatively very user friendly, where we need not waste our time so much. Okay, the information is being received, it becomes easier for us to interpret, and based on that the information is being shared also. Okay, the cost involved is relatively very less, like it's peanuts when compared to previous generation, like previous years, few years back it was relatively very high. Today the cost is relatively very less. Okay, then you have packages. We have packages like messengers and outlook, which helps us to compose new email addresses. Okay, or forward the messages from one person or to another person, or one person to many people. Okay, using email addresses. So email address, when I'm creating this, a particular email address can be provided for my particular company, like at infosys.com, at wipro.com, or all these things. Okay, when I want to create all these things, a particular package can be picked up from service providers. Here, when I accept this service, okay, or buy a package, it becomes easier for us to modify certain things, like what is the font size that my whoever is using at wipro.com or web@infosys.com. Okay, so when particular website is being used or a particular email address is being used, we can control and say these are the fonts available. This is the color of the font which you can use. This is the size of the font. The information that needs to be highlighted, deleted, stored, saved, alignment, okay, center adjustment, right alignment, left alignment, center alignment, like block format or semi-block format, or italics, sorry, italics for any font to be highlighted, okay, subject to be highlighted. So all these things are being customized, can be customized when a package is being brought up. Okay, so when any person buys a particular particular package, either in Outlook or in the form of Messenger, they can utilize all these services and ensure they have a uniform practice in sending emails. Okay, everybody in their organization uses only these particular formats. Then you have interface. Interface is between an email program and a word processing program, allows us to cut, copy, and paste material from one place to another place. Okay, so hence it becomes easier for us when we receive any information in the email format. We can copy that entire information and paste it in a Word document and use it for any further requirement. Okay, so it works as an interface where it is easier for us to copy paste. And the next information that comes in is attachments. Today, if you want to send across any worksheets, PDF, Word document, or pictures, presentations, PDF, all these things can be given as attachment to a mail. So if you are using Gmail, the maximum attachment size will be 25 MB. So beyond this, if you want to do, then you have to go to Google Drive, create your own account. In the drive, you can upload how much ever information you want, and after this, you can share this particular drive address to a particular sender, whomever you want to do. So attachments can be sent easily through email. Okay, then spam. Spam is junk mails or unwanted mails which you are receiving from a particular email address. If you feel it is an unwanted mail coming from, let's say, you are getting an email from Airtel. Okay, you have an Airtel connection. Every month they are giving, or what are the offers available, what are the benefits available, or what is the new internet connection, okay, speed enhancement. If you are getting all these things and if it is disturbing your daily routine, then you can go and mark it as spam, and whichever email comes into your inbox, that will be pushed to your spam account, like a spam folder. Okay, then you have signature. So if you want to have a personalized signature, then you can, when you are drafting your email, okay, in the settings, you can go and check for signature column. In the signature column, you can do it as a pre-written signatures, like regards ABC, regards Mr. ABC, phone number, address. Okay, like this we can keep it. So whenever I open my email, by default, my signature will appear. Okay, I need not type it again and again. By default, it will appear. So I can just write the body of the mail and send it across. I need not retype this signature over and again. Okay, then you have search option. If there are any old mails or anything that I want to retrieve and see what I have sent before, for that we have something called as search option in emails also today. In the search option, if I go and give the any the sender's email address, or if I don't know the email address, any particular PDF name what I've sent, or the Word document, or any particular word in that particular document, if I give that, wherever that word is available in whichever mail, all those mails will pop up. Okay, from there I can search the information whichever is required for us. Then you have cloud storage. Today we have the information whatever is available, it's being saved on cloud platform. So we don't have particular servers or somebody which is fixed in a particular place or location. Today all the information what you share will be saved in cloud. Okay, so if you want to understand what is cloud storage, kindly go to YouTube and check on cloud storage. Might be there'll be some animation videos which will explain you how cloud storage works. Okay, so because of time constraints, we can't explain in detail now. So you can go and study it there. So how cloud storage works. This is all your general knowledge in CS. After foundation, we will not ask about this in your executive. But once you start working as a CS, certain information needs to be preserved in cloud. Okay, to understand how information is being preserved in cloud. So basic knowledge, if you understand now, it will be easier for you once you start working. Okay, so today we have Google Drive, Dropboxes, all these servers being available, where if I want to save certain particular information, then I can go and upload it there and leave it there. It will give me a particular password and email ID and a password. With that, whenever I want, I can retrieve the data, that is, collect the data. Okay, then after this, changes at the workplace. If there are any particular changes, then it becomes easier for us to interpret this information and use this. So today we have a particular situation where it's a COVID, where we can't go to office. Okay, if we want to work from home, then we have to work from a virtual office place, where we are not, everybody is not coming and sitting in a particular place. We are having video calls, FaceTimes, and all these things. With all these concepts coming into picture, it becomes easier when we have email facilities. Okay, we can give them what is the date where they have to come for a particular meeting, or we can give them the WebEx link and ask them to come and join us. So you are getting a particular email as in a reminder. This can also be used in workplace. Okay, then the next concept is with respect to email account. So what we understood was the broader perspective of what is an email, what all is there in an email. Now, in your particular email account, what are the what are the features available? The first one will be inbox. You all know this. Whatever messages comes into your inbox will fall in. Whatever messages comes into your email account, that will fall into your inbox. Okay. The next one is whatever. Here you can also have different folders. If you have a Gmail account, you will already know you will have platforms like personal, social, uploads, forums. Okay, like this. If you want to make separate folders in order to know who is sending you this particular message, whether it is important, not important, all these things, based on that, your inbox can be segregated. Then you have sent mail. The mails, whatever is sent across from your email address, will be in your sent mail. Draft is, I have drafted the particular email, but I have not sent it to a particular person. Then it will be stored in draft mails. Then you have spams. If I don't want any information or unwanted mails are falling into my account, like as I told you, Airtel is sending you constant mails and all these things, that can be pushed to spam account. Then you have trash. All the mails that I have deleted will fall into my trash. This trash generally will have the information for a particular span of time. It differs from a service provider to service provider. It can be 15 days or a 1 week or a month or something. And based on that, on FIFO method or LIFO method, the based on the LIFO, last in first out, yeah, based on the LIFO method, the mails will be deleted. Okay, so once I don't want any particular mail, if I delete it and put it in a particular delete box, it will stay there for some time. After that, it will get deleted. Okay, so the next one is in email account. Then if I want to, what are the additional features available? The next one will be compose mail. So if you see, if I go in my email account, one option available to me, compose mail. So in compose mail, I will first have to address CC, BCC. I will explain you what it is. After that, I will give the subject. Then after that, it will have a body. So in the body, I can write whatever information I want. And below, if I want any attachments, change my font size, color, or style of my font, okay, I can do all these things. After that, you have attachments. If you want to attach any mails, you can attach that. Then you can have send. Okay, so that's what they gave. One is contacts. My contacts, if I give once, generally today all my emails are so smart that once if we give the email address, it will be saved. Okay, next time if I just start writing the first letter of that particular email address, the particular person's name will pop up. Okay, so whoever name start with A, all their email addresses will pop up. From there I can select whoever name I want. Okay, then you have to field. To field is whomever I want to send the information, that particular person's email address I have to give. Okay, and after that you have CC. CC and BCC are two concepts where CC means carbon copy and BCC means blind carbon copy. where if I want, let's say I want to send this mail to my manager. Along with my manager, I want to send it to my teammates also. Okay, so who is the first person who I want to send this email to my manager? So to field will have my manager email address. CC will have all my department colleagues. Okay, so CC is something where who is the second people who are important in this email. Okay, first people who are important in this email will come in to the people who are not important but still has to know this information is being sent across. Their email address we will put it in CC. Okay, blind carbon copy is something where I have to send this information to some people, but who is falling in that BCC, their names will be hidden. Okay, so let's say I'm sending this email to CC to BCD, and blind carbon copy, that is BCC to E and F. Okay, E and F will receive this mail and know to whom I have sent. They will be able to see that the information is sent to A, that is true, and CC, B, C, D. Okay, but only E and F will be able to know that to whom all I have sent. But 2 and CC, who all are there? That is Mr. A and Mr. B, C, D will never know that I have sent this mail also to E and F. Okay, so E and F, if I have sent it in BCC, I will know that I have sent it to them, and E and F will know that this particular information is being sent. A, who is in 2, and CC, who are Mr. B, C, D, they will never know that the information is also being shared with E and F. Okay, so if E and F are being as blind carbon copy, they will know that the particular information is being received, but A, B, C, D will never know this information is also being shared by me to E and F. Okay, I'll explain this again, kindly listen. Where I am sending a mail, I have three options: to CC, BCC. Okay, in 2, I'm going to give the name of Mr. A. In CC, I'm going to give the name of Mr. BCD. Okay, in BCC, I'm going to give the name of E and F. Okay, now A will not know that I have sent this mail to E and F. B, C, D, who are in CC, will not know that I've sent the mail to E and F. E and F will know that I have sent the mail to E and F and also A, B, C, D. Okay, so the only people who are in blind carbon copy, they will be known only to the sender. Other people who are in the mail will not know who is this whoever is in the blind carbon copy, they will not know that this mail is also sent to them. Okay, people whose email address is coming in blind carbon copy will be known only to the sender and the email address who is given in BCC. Okay, so whoever is in 2 and CC will not know that the information is also being shared with E and F. Okay, this is called as blind carbon copy. Then you have subject. You all know what is subject. Whatever is the subject of the mail, that needs to be given there. Without subject, a mail can't be sent. Then you have text area, the blank space where you can write whatever information that you have. Then you have send. Send button will be at the end. If you click that, the mail will be sent. Then you have group contacts. So if I want to send it to a particular group, then even there I can create group contacts: finance department, HR department, or admin department, overall office. Okay, if I don't want to sit and select all this information, then um, instead of this, I can use something called as group contacts. Okay, then we have the next concept, that is electronic mail system. So what happens with electronic mail system? So email management tools in the market can help entrepreneurs and managers address a wide array of issues from exercise volumes. So what happens here is the volume of emails will be drastic and huge. So once you start working, you will know that every day you will have close to, like, if you are working for any big MNC companies, and if you work as CS, it will be relatively less. But even in CS, if you're working in an MNC company and catering to various other clients and various other global parts, then you will be receiving mails like every day, like 150, 200 mails, or it might be for the entire department, you would have received close to like 2000 mails. Okay, so all these mails will become extensive. So for this, we can have certain systems which will help us to store the data in a particular way. So how we do is, if the mails are coming from Australia, we will have a separate folder. So all the mails coming from Australia will fall in that particular folder. Okay, if we have clients from UK, all the mails coming from UK will fall in that particular folder. If we have clients from Singapore, we will have a folder called Singapore. Okay, so every day morning, if I come and open my Australian inbox, it will show me the mails what has come from Australian clients. If I open my UK inbox, it will show me what are the mails that's come from UK clients. Okay, if I open my Singapore inbox, it will show me what are the mails that's come from Singapore clients. Okay, so these clients can this inbox can be managed with the help of a service provider. Okay, this can't happen overnight with Gmail and all these things. It will be difficult for us. For this, we have to go with particular website service providers. Okay, then after this, network storage burden can be reduced, because when various mails are coming into our email address, we have to be very careful that my service provider is able to identify virus detection, spam blocking, and search abilities. So one is, it should allow me to ensure that virus is not attacking my system. And the second one is, if I'm receiving any spams, okay, it should block those spam messages. And the second one is, it should allow me to search the mails, because I told you, every day if I'm receiving 2000 mails, and if anything is being left out, me as a service provider, or as a PCS or CS or whatever, okay, if I'm providing any service, it will become difficult for me. Okay, hence it becomes easier when my service provider is giving me all these facilities. Okay, then the next one is optimizing the personal email use. So this again depends on how you're going to develop. Each one is going to have their own style. Okay, so they will also train you how to send emails and all these things once you join a company. So when they are training all these things, you have to ensure whatever is the company policy. So for example, I was working with EY. Okay, so they had given us a platform where we had to use only a particular shade, like gray color, shades of gray and shades of blue for writing my mail. And I was restricted to use only particular colors. Okay, so all these things will become easier for us to understand where is this particular message being sent, who is sending this, and what is the color what they're using, what is the font. So basically they'll allow you to use like anywhere in the business platform, we will use Calibri, Arial, and Times Square. Okay, so these are the three fonts which will be used, and the standard size will be 11, 10 or 11 font size. So the colors what we use for writing will be gray or blue. So these are the things which you have to use, and with this you can personalize. Okay, so once you start writing mails and having your own signature and the way you write all these things, once you start using this, it becomes easier for you. And once might be you work for 3 months or 6 months, when a mail comes in a particular style, they will know, okay, it's being written by Pavithra. Okay, so it's very important for you to understand and create your own writing styles. Okay, so after this, professional appearance and content are paramount in an email. Okay, so you have to have your own style in writing, and once you generate this particular style, it will have an immense impact on the organization. Okay, who is sending this, how they are sending, and all these things. So when we are sending a mail, okay, in a professional format, what are the things that I have to ensure? That is, the standard of professionalism has to be displayed in my email. Like postal correspondence say, you should have proper grammar, correct spelling should be used, the tone of the message what you're sending. Okay, don't try to be dominative or something. Kindly keep it as passive or slow and all these things. Then have courtesy, the structure in which you draft your mail, and the content how you present. Okay, bullet points or however you present, all these things will be important. The second one is, you should avoid emoticons. That is, you can't use smileys, winks, etc. in your office correspondence. Maintain separate account for office and personal emails. Basically, when you join a company, you will have an office email ID. Kindly don't use it for your personal emails. Okay, so always have another email address for your personal contact. Then you have avoid spamming. If you are in a place where you have to send information, kindly ensure you don't send a spam messages, okay, unwanted forwards and all these things. Try to keep it very professional. Then limit the size of attachment. So generally in an organization mail, as I told you, of a Gmail it is 25 MB. Like that in organizations also, they will give you a limit, okay. Kindly ensure you send it within that limit. Otherwise, if the content is very high, then you can zip the files into a compressed mode, then you can share it. Have a standard signature for your official emails, which will give you name, designation, phone number. Okay, so this signature will be a pre-built thing, as I told you before. Okay, you can, as soon as you join your company, they will teach you how to create a signature. This automatically pops up when you open a email. Okay, respond promptly to official email messages. So whenever you receive a email address, receive a message, and if it is addressed to you, kindly ensure within the next 24 hours you try to respond to that mail with the relevant content. Might be if you receive it on a weekend, okay, we do understand. Once you're back in office, kindly ensure this information is being sent across. Okay, then set up efficient daily email practices. So every day, kindly ensure you have the habit of checking what all are the mails that's come into your email address and respond to them efficiently. Delete old messages, unwanted messages, or which is not going to be used in a longer time. Those messages you can delete. Review incoming messages, that is at least 2-3 times a day. Kindly refresh your inbox and see what are the new mails that's dropped into your email address and respond to them. Then you have invest in supplementary tools. Like if you want, if you are a personal PCS, or you are a person who is working as the head of the department, then ensure that you have appropriate tools taken from your service provider for blocking the spam messages or virus detection, and all these things can be done. Then use the reply all feature properly with care. Okay, don't if you have to send the mail to everybody, if you have received it only from two, and there is also CC, and if you reply, if you select only reply, it will go to the two people only. Okay, CC people will not be included. If you want to add everybody in the mail, then give it as reply all. So reply will add reply only to whoever is in the two address, only to them it will be reply. If you give it as reply all, to and CC who all are there, for everybody your reply will go. Okay, then the next concept is again CC and BCC, as I explained you, the same concept where okay, for people who didn't understand, I'll explain it again. Okay, don't keep asking the same question in the question comments. I'll explain it fast. One is I have three options in the address column, that is to CC and BCC. Okay, let's say I'm Pavithra, I'm sending this mail to Mr. A 2, and Mr. in CC I'm sending it to Mr. B, Mr. C, and Mr. D. Okay, in BCC I'm keeping Mr. E and Mr. F. Okay, so I as Pavithra, I know I have sent it to A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, A will think this mail is sent from Pavithra only to A, B, C, D. Okay, A will not know that this mail is being sent to E and F, who is in the BCC. Okay, whoever is in the BCC, he will not know that mail is being sent from Pavithra also to E and F. Okay, so whoever is in CC, that is BCD, even they will assume that Pavithra has sent this mail only to A, B, C, D. Okay, they will not know that the mail is sent to E and F. But people who are in E and F will know that Pavithra has sent this mail to A, B, C, D, and E and F. Okay, so whoever is in E and F will be the secret viewers or hidden viewers, who will be known only to the sender and the viewer. Okay, only I, that is Pavitra, and E and F will know the mail is sent to all people. Okay, but A, B, C, D will not know that this mail is sent even to E and F. Okay, this is what is the concept of CC and BCC. If you're still not able to understand this properly, kindly check some YouTube videos on the basics how CC and BCC works, because they would have done it for school kids, okay, high school kids and all these things, pictorial representation or an some like animation movies or something, there you can understand. Okay, then you have proper email correspondence. kindly ensure that you have, like what I told you, the professional thing, the same thing. There will be different types of email correspondence. Kindly ensure what it is, whether it is for business purpose or whether it is personal purpose, or if you're into school, how it is being used. Okay, so kindly ensure where you are. Based on that, give your reply. Proper ways of sending email also plays a very important role. Okay, kindly keep reading this. So they have given an example. We are not going with the example. You can read that. Okay, then you have email etiquettes. What I have to be sure while sending an email. The first thing is I have to mind my manners. I have to show certain amount of manners when I'm using my email. Address people you don't know as Mr., Mrs., dear, or sir, whatever it is. Watch your tone. Kindly have your tone in a very polite way. As I told you, have courtesy. Be concise. That is, don't draft your mail too lengthy. Okay, keep it concise. Give it in bullet points or write it in 2 3 paragraphs and try to finish it. Then be professional in the mails what you're sending. Don't use smileys and all these things. Use correct spelling and proper grammar. Most of the times a spell check will be running. Kindly ensure you do that before you send it across. Wait to fill in the to address properly. Ensure you're sending it to the right person, not to the wrong person. Okay, then what are the advantages of email? Managing email is easy because we have inbox, outbox, send, draft, spam, all those things. Email is faster. Yes, we all know that. As soon as you send it, the other person, if he's connected, immediately it will drop into their email ID. Or whenever he logs in, he will know when you have sent this. Email is inexpensive when compared to register, post, and all these things. It is inexpensive. Email is easy to filter. Yes, if I give it and search any particular address or name, it will be easier for us to search. Transmission is secure and reliable. Yes, the information what is being sent will be sent from me to the sender alone. So whoever I give it as to, only to them it will go, not to everybody in the organization. Okay, hence it is secure platform. Then what are the disadvantages of email? It is time consuming. Just because we have to give, I feel this is being given, it's not so time consuming when compared to the couriers or what we send. But still, drafting proper emails consume time. Okay, to whom we are sending, how we are sending. If I'm sending it to the chairman of the company, how it's being sent. If I'm sending it to any of the directors, how it is being sent. Okay, so all these things become important for me. Then security, I have to ensure it is not being hacked by anybody. Hence, security is important. Okay, there are certain cases where a system can be hacked. When it is being hacked, it becomes difficult for us. For that perspective, we have to ensure we have proper security. So, email disadvantage can also be a security issue. Then, impersonal communication. It is always an impersonal communication because, as I told you, you'll be communicating with people who are in Australia, Singapore, UK, America. They wouldn't have known you at all. Okay, so when I'm doing email correspondence, yes, there is an impersonal effect. So a personal face-to-face connect will not at all be there, and it becomes slightly difficult. Misunderstanding is possible if I don't draft my mail properly and the content is being not understood in the context what it's being written. Then misunderstanding is possible. Then vulnerability, if the information is the what we explain in British, liberal means freedom. The same word in American means it's being harsh. Okay, you're trying to protest. Liberals means. So we have to be certain about the words or the vocabulary what we use. Okay, for different people with whom we are communicating. So if I'm working for an MNC company and if I use words very freely, then it will be a hard time impact where other person feels hurt. Okay, for this perspective, we have to understand how it is vulnerable. Then internet connectivity has to be always available. If it is not available, then it is a disadvantage because we can't send across emails or receive emails. Okay, so these are self-explanatory. You can just go back and read all these things. Then we are coming to the last concept, that is intranet. So what is intranet? Intranet is a concept where maybe you wouldn't have been exposed to this, but once you start working, you will understand. Okay, so this is an internet connectivity where a user ID and password will be given to each employee as soon as they're joined. Okay, and each organization will have a particular intranet. Intranet means like they would have explained you something called as WAN and LAN connection. Okay, local area network and wide area network. Like this, in a local area network, they will develop certain networks. okay, within the company. So within the company there will be certain communications happening. Okay, so within the organization, let's say there is a training program happening for lower level management, or there is promotions happening, or there is some educational training program being provided to the employees. Okay, if I want to advertise all these things or inform my employees, then how do I do it? One thing, previously what they used to do was put it on the notice board. Okay, if my company is only in Maharashtra, or only in Bangalore, or only in Mumbai, only in Delhi or Chennai or Kolkata, okay, fine, it works. But if I have operations in all these places, how will I inform it to all the people who are working in different parts of the country? Okay, if I want to inform all these people, then what we started doing is the company started to develop something called as intranet. Okay, intranet is an internal communication internet process where employees of the organization will be provided email ID and password. With this usage, they will log into this intranet. Okay, so once they log into the intranet, what will happen within the organization, what all is happening, they can access that information. Okay, so intranet is an internal communication means which is being used by organizations. Okay, we will go with the explanation. Intra means within or internal, that is within the organization. Information specific to a particular organization is being shared on the intranet. External people who are not on the network cannot access the intranet. That is, my stakeholders like customers, suppliers, all these people can't access this information. Like my website is openly available. If you go and see Infosys website is openly available to you. But within Infosys, they have lakhs of people working. For them, what is the training program available? What is the facilities available? All those things will be provided in their intranet platform. Okay, not on the website what they have published for public at large. Here, what are the information that is being generally posted? Posting various newsletters related to the company, articles related to the company training documents. Okay, all these things will be shared on my intranet platform, generally shared on intranet platform. Intranet is a place of paper and email. Okay, they use proper paper documentations and emails. Okay, and information is given to everyone within the organization regardless of their location. So if people if you take as Infosys, they'll be working in US, Australia, or Russia, China, wherever they are working. So when people are working in different platform different countries, even then intranet can be used. Okay, because we are providing them a user email and ID which will allow them to log in there. Generally, the employer ID will be my ID, and followed by that, a password will be given. Then companies are very secure when they use intranet platform, because external people will not be provided this information, and within the organization, whatever I want to communicate, this information is being circulated. Okay, hence it is very beneficial. Then central communication area for the entire company. So within the company, if they want to circulate certain information, it becomes easier when we have intranet. Okay, people working from remote location can also use intranet, and generally intranet will not be always logged in. So if you want to know what is the information available, you have to log into the intranet several times a day. Okay, like you have to keep refreshing and all those things. If you don't log in for the next 1 hour or something, it will automatically log out. Okay, so what are the benefits of intranet? One is workforce productivity. So within the organization, what is happening, it will improve the workforce productivity. So different departments will be connected with one another. Like they can use a Skype, or all these things are internally used. Okay, so internal communication platforms will be allowed where they can communicate with one another, but it is not going to happen on Gmail or something. Okay, time consumed is relatively lesser when intranet is being used, because various departments can understand what is happening there in the organization. If they want HR to reply to a particular mail, they can write it in their intranet chat box or something. Okay, to that particular person, and that particular person can reply back to them. So the time involved is relatively less. The next one is communication. It becomes easier for everybody in the organization to talk to everyone. Okay, so whoever they want to talk, let there be 1 lakh people, if they want to talk to anyone in particular, generally their name, a small photo and their email address, everything will pop up in my intra box chat. Okay, so in that I can identify whom I want to talk to, and with them I can speak. Okay, web publishing becomes easier. So internally, if I want to publish any information which is informative to the organization employees, like let's say Infosys has done extremely well in this quarter. Okay, they want to tell, identify and tell internally who are the people who have worked for that success. Okay, they need not go and give it in the web page which is open for everybody, but in intranet they will come and say these many people have worked very hard, and because of them we have achieved some success. Okay, so all those articles or journals, if they want to publish, it becomes easier. Business operations and management will be enhanced because internally they can communicate, and this is not being hacked by any other external person. So it becomes easier for them to take business decisions, operations, and who is available, who is not available. Even that we can identify in the chat box. Okay, with all this information, it will be easier for us to take management decisions at the earliest. It is cost effective. Yes, an internal service provider. So with this service provider, it becomes easier for us to take any decisions in any level of the management, be it top level, middle level, lower level. Okay, it becomes easier for us. Then enhanced collaboration within various departments. If they want to discuss and interpret or understand any information, it becomes easier for them. They need not wait for longer times for approval, corrections, or retrieval of data or anything. Okay, it will be easier for them to collaborate with one department to another and come into an agreement. Okay, to understand how it is being understood. Then promote common corporate work culture. If we are working in different places, okay, if I'm working in America, Australia, along with Indian operations, if I want to have the same work culture in all these places, it becomes easier for us to promote this. Okay, if I have an intranet, immediate updates whenever there is a change, immediately we can update to all the employees in the organization when we have intranet. Supports a distributed computing architecture. So this is basically a very high end term where they say when I want to develop a particular way of presenting information, it becomes easier for me. And if I want to change this entire fashion of how it is being performed, like before we had foundation exam, now we have it as CSEET. Okay, so we are changing the entire concept how the examination was happening. The similar way, if an organization wants to change the entire mode in which it's operating, it becomes easier when we have intranet and train each individual how they have to function. Okay, so with all these things, we are going to complete this chapter. You can start with your doubts. Kindly don't copy paste. This is a request. If you copy paste, it's going to be a loss for you people. Okay, kindly ask it slowly. We will answer all your questions. When will you stop your class? Yes, I've stopped my class now. You can start asking your doubts. Vulnerability is I can be hacked by anybody. That's called vulnerability. Organization internal email is an example of intranet. Yes, it is an example of intranet. Web publishing, when the information is being published on the websites, it's called as web publishing. Packages, services will be provided by certain package service providers, like Infosys will provide, I forgot, Finnet or something it is called. Okay, Tally, SAP. So all these are services being provided that can be used. Okay, interface is interaction between one system to another system is called as interface. Collaborations. I'm not understanding why are you people just putting this particular words. Collaboration means one organization is collaborating with another to perform certain particular activities. Enhance collaboration, that's what. When I want to improve my efficiency in an organization, okay, different departments want to discuss with one another and improve their efficiency overall, then collaboration is required between one department to another. Hence, if there is an intranet, it will help me to perform the activities in a faster way. Cloud storage, kindly go check in Google, it will explain you how cloud entirely works. Proper email correspondence. Etiquettes means the way or the manner in which you reply or use courtesy, and all these things will be considered as etiquettes. Ma'am, we have all the lectures in YouTube from starting. Yes, lectures will be shared there. All the lectures will be shared. Okay. Intranet, again, I'm explaining intranet within the organization. If I want to pass on certain information or have a network or communication platform, that is called as intranet. Okay. Types of questions which are being asked in Viva. Okay, Viva, it completely depends. You have to study and come the entire chapter. Yes. How many days the online class will continue? My class is going to be there on Monday also, and for that we are going to complete business communication. Intranet, I explained again, you're asking for the same. Purpose of intranet isn't in CSEET course. What's that? You have to know how intranet works as a post qualified CS. For that perspective, we are giving you certain light in understanding all these concepts. Okay, for that we have explained you there is also a concept of intranet. Once you start working, you have to be aware of it. For that we are giving you certain explanation. Okay, then you have no, the free classes will not go until exams get completed. Until your syllabus is being completed, we will take free classes. Okay, that's just because of COVID situation. We are taking this. Etiquettes, I explained. Kushi, I have explained. The same you're asking again. Copy paste. Ma'am, can they ask history of internet? Yes, they can ask you. They won't ask you the history of internet, but they can ask you who is the father of email, or what is the full form of POP, what is the full form of HTML. Okay, like that they can ask you the full forms. Kindly study all those full forms. They'll give you 4 options. In the 4 options, you have to identify the option. For that perspective, kindly know what are these full forms. Okay. Knave is blunt. What is the meaning of knave? Okay, knave means being blunt. Are these topics important for exam perspective? Yes, that's why we are teaching. It is definitely important. Ma'am, which type of questions will be asked in Viva? See, it is completely an open-minded thing. It depends from person to person who takes your Viva words. So we can't assure you these are the things that's going to be asked. Might be they can ask you what is intranet. You have to explain what is intranet. Then they can ask you what are the benefits of intranet. How did the emails come up? Okay, like this, any questions they can ask. Based on that, you'll have to explain. Ebook link, kindly go to icsi.edu, or in Google, kindly give it as CSEET business communication PDF. It will take you to that particular link. Okay, because I've shared it already. If you want next class, I'll share it again. Is Viva an impromptu speech? It depends. It's not impromptu speech. It is the way you are able to express yourself in the content of what we have explained in all these classes. Okay, with respect to the textbook content, whatever is there, that will be asked. You have to explain all concepts, and this analyze what is your how you speak, how is your speech. All these things will be analyzed there. Okay. Does people in BCC know about the other BCC members? No, they will not know. Ma'am, when we will get the lecture videos? Kindly check with the chapter. Viva would be online. We are still not aware of that. Kindly check with the institute. How will your Viva be conducted? Corporate culture, the way an organization works, and the way they interact, all these things will be considered as corporate culture. Okay. I have told you already what to support distributed computing architecture is. When a procedure is changed from one particular way to another particular way, like a foundation is being changed into CSEET, the entire system is being changed. So when I want to introduce another new system, it becomes easier when I have intranet facilities. Okay. PDF was available on the Google search, kindly go search there. If it is not there, next class I will share the link. Is it enough to just go with the PDF provided by ICSI for CSEET? Yes, it's completely enough. Nothing else is required. Okay. Will you start test series after this? No, we will not start test series or anything. You have mock tests, kindly go and take it up. This is only your free classes which we are taking in order to assist you to understand the concepts. Okay, because we are not able to take regular classes in the chapter. Where you can clear the doubts after reading all these things, how can we come and help you again? This is one platform where we have provided, where if you have any doubts, you have to get it cleared here. This is self-reading books. It's not so difficult. You can actually go through them and clarify all your doubts on yourself. If you still have too many doubts, kindly go across and see our videos again and again. It might help you back. Okay, you can rewind, play, and do all those things. LAN and intranet similar? LAN is a platform which is being used for intranet. Yes. Through artificial. What is this? Through AI. AI is artificial intelligence, but I didn't understand what it is. BCC and CC, if you're still not able to understand, kindly go check in Google or YouTube videos. It will help you understand. Okay. What is impersonal communication? There is no face-to-face communication. There is only a system which is communicating. So it is called as impersonal communication because you don't know to whom you're sending the mail. Okay. So you just know them by a email address. You just know them through that. You have not seen them in person. So that will be called as impersonal communication. Okay. What is Viva? Amazing. Okay, fine. We are just completing your class today. Okay, somebody is reminding us the time 9:03. Yes, we are aware of it. Okay, fine. I hope all your doubts are being cleared. We'll just meet up for your next class. That will be your last class on Monday. Okay, we will get the link. Just hold on. Okay, thank you. I shall just close this events. Thank you, one and all. Have a great day.